Nelk, release the pod. Release the pod, Nelk. It's time for war, Nelk.
Let's go.
Okay. This video went viral of the manager of Nelk, John Shahidi, brilliant guy, and he also manages a bunch of other podcasts. He's involved with some businesses, like he's connected with Elon, and he's just really interesting dude, and has been very good to us in terms of like giving advice and that kind of shit. Yeah. And so he's on this podcast with, I believe, is Graham Stephan's The Iced Coffee Hour. Yeah. Right? Okay, so this goes viral.
You guys ever shoot podcasts and not post them?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sore subject, but yeah. There was one, but there was an episode with Andrew Schultz. Schultz went after, like, I think, when like a stand-up comedian like looks in the crowd and decides like just go after somebody. Yeah. Well, I think like Schultz was kind of like went after Steiny, and he and it was pretty awkward.
Was it the whole episode or was it like?
It was a bulk of it. It was like,
no, you couldn't cut around it, or
he would come back to it and like he just wanted to go after Steiny.
Yep.
I almost felt bad for Steiny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay, now.
You bully.
Listen.
Why are you going around the pod?
I didn't even think it was that long on Steiny. Now, Nelk reacted to this video, because a lot of people are giving them shit. They're like, release the fucking episode, you pussies, etc. And they basically were like, Schultz said he didn't want to put out the episode. Yeah. Which is true, because it sucked.
Yeah.
It was like, I think I told you guys.
I vividly remember.
Yeah, it was just like one of the worst podcasts I've ever been on. And basically, like, here's the thing. Here's what happened. It was Steve Will Do It, who's fucking hilarious, and he's a fan. He was even promoted the special. He was great. And then Kyle and Steiny. Mm-hmm. And Kyle is like the mastermind behind Nelk. Like, he's kind of like a genius.
Yeah, he's the guy I see the most.
He just understands culture and like connecting with different people and like building a community and a brand. But Kyle and Steiny, I don't think they really knew who I was. So like, I think they were aware of who I am or was at the time, but not really that aware of the content.
And not about you as a famous person or whatever, but your comedy, your style of comedy.
Like I think that maybe they watched the special like right before the pod or something like that. But I think it was more a situation where it was like, okay, this guy's got a big reach on YouTube. We have a big reach on YouTube. This can be a big episode type of thing. And Steve is the fan. Steve is the sweetest guy in the world. Like, if I called Steve right now probably and asked him to like help me move my apartment, he'd be like, I can be there tomorrow. Like, he's just the sweetest fucking guy.
Yeah.
So, but he doesn't drive the pod.
Yeah.
Kyle and Steiny drive the pod.
Right.
I'm sitting in this thing and I thought that they all were like in the same fraternity or something. I wasn't as familiar with like Nelk, but Kyle's kind of like organized these like internet superstars, if you will, like you have Salim and like Bradley Martin, and like built like a team and a brand around it. But in my mind, they all went to college together. So when I'm there and they're not really like talking, and I'm just like, what is going on right now?
They said that in the video. They were like, we were nervous because that was the first time we had ever all done a pod together.
It was just like Trump and me. The only time they bring out the A team. So it was just this like kind of weird energy, and like I pretty early on realized that like Kyle and Steiny don't really know me that well, because the questions they're asking are like really basic questions.
Like, what's an example?
Has anybody ever like heckled you? And there's a moment in the pod, I don't know if they edited it, but where I'm like, what? And they're like, have you ever like talked to someone in the crowd? And like, so I'm thinking two different things in this moment. I'm going, either they have no clue who I am, and that's weird that I would even be here.
Annoying, yeah.
Or they know and it's a troll. So I'm like, Do you know what I mean? Like, and in that moment, Steiny got
you got clips.
Now he knows what you do to the crowd.
He knows what I do. Yeah. But I don't even think I was being funny. I think I was just, explaining to him who I think he is in a stern way.
Yeah.
So, but understand. It was just like, I think they even said in the clip, it was like a weird moment. The energy was just kind of off, you know, and like we were just doing the interview and like randomly like producers would come in and like angle the Happy Dad cans like to the camera so the logo was facing the can. And I'd be like in the middle of like telling a story or explaining something.
It's like a check drop.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I'd be like,
you hate those.
Yeah, exactly.
but it was just one of those things where it's like, I'm in this moment where like, okay, I don't think these guys know who I am. There are moments where like none of us talked. Like we just sit there like this, and I'd be like, what is fucking happening right now? So like, and then the logo thing, and I was just like, what is it? Like, the beautiful thing about a podcast is when you have like genuine interest in someone, you get to sit across from them and like ask all your questions and like, you know, get to the bottom of theories. Or if you hate someone, you get to confront them about something. It's just like this beautiful thing. And in the moment when they're moving the logo, I'm like, am I doing a commercial for Happy Dad and not getting paid for it? Like, what is going on right now? So I think
you do like a base level of research. Like someone is coming out of their day to like spend time to sit with you.
So
like, and God bless Akash. We've had some guests on where he's been like, dude, I gotta research this guy. But he does it.
But you do it.
He does it.
So I think I was just like, what is going on right here?
Well, you didn't research.
So I think it was just like, and then I think maybe Steiny asked me one more question, and it could have been genuine from him, but it felt like trolling. And I was like, who is this fucking chicken McNugget asking me shit? like who is this
When
guy?
I'm trying to film a commercial.
Yeah, I'm trying to
do
film
a Happy Dad.
Happy Dad.
I'm trying to sell
I'm
seltzers.
doing my best here, okay, to sell the fucking spiked seltzers.
Please. Yeah.
And then he asked me some fucking question, and you know.
Which it is kind of funny that like Steve, I guess, doesn't talk that much, so he wasn't saying that much, and then Kyle apparently doesn't always like lead a lot of times with certain people, so he wasn't talking much. So Steiny, according to the video, his explanation, he was like, I was doing my best to like keep it going, and he was trying, and then
he was leading most of that interview, and it always
There
seemed
was a
like
moment
he was
where I was like, am I interviewing y'all?
yeah.
Like, that's the thing, like, so afterwards I hit him up, I was like, yo, should we just scrap it? And then I was just gonna and we can like do it again, and I was gonna say, bring Bradley and Salim, who I have more of a rapport with, and then like, they know my stuff a little bit more, and then we can kind of have some fun.
Even John could have been on the pod as well.
John should have sat down. So I was just gonna say, yeah, we could do it again. And then what I heard was that, but they also were like, hey, we'll edit it and then see what's going on. And I was like, look, it's fine, it's your pod, whatever you want to do. But then what I heard is that Steiny was like, please don't release that podcast. So I think he's acting as if he's like, yeah, let's just have it out there. I think they should release it still.
Yeah.
Like, I just put it out. And I know they're concerned about Steve will do its face because I think he's banned from YouTube. Yeah. But just blur his face. Like, if you blur his face.
Sounds like he didn't talk much anyway, so it
in the
sounds
beginning,
like it's mainly you and Steiny.
In the beginning, it was some talking, and I think everybody was like, what is going on right now? Like, I've never seen a podcast. People should see it for what not to do on a podcast. Like, I hope that you can see it. There's a moment where I think we all just take a breath together.
it's just like
there's a moment, where like, it's like, so you have a watch? Cool. What do you tell time with that? Let's take a break. Happy Dad is coming out with a new flavor, Chicken McNugget. We got, it's like, I was like, what is going on right now?
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This beautiful moment from Seinfeld and Larry
And he was smart enough to keep it in.
Yeah, well, it's live.
What a genius Seinfeld
Larry King Live was the name of the show.
Should we watch it? You've seen this? I mean,
Let's watch it.
Fantastic.
It's so
This
good.
is exactly how I felt, and maybe it went similar.
180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did. So.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented. Is this still CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also.
Just from watching.
But, yeah, no, I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Jewish guy, Brooklyn.
Yes.
Okay.
75 million viewers last episode.
Boy, you don't take it so bad.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being #1.
We'll be right back.
They cut the
Big movie
commercial.
opens.
Let me just tell you something. I was not that funny.
You know what you and Seinfeld is like? You know how you hate your dad and then you just become your dad?
Yeah,
That's
bro.
you and Seinfeld.
What are you talking about?
I cannot wait till you guys meet up, dude. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, we have. Didn't go well.
Again.
Yeah, again. Second time. Second time's a charm, right, Nelk?
Yeah.
What did you say to him? Do you not know who I am?
No. It was they said something. I think the question's in there. It's like it was something like, yeah. So have you ever had a situation where like you like interact with the audience on the fly or something?
Get the fuck out.
I love this, dude.
And it was just like,
I love that.
And I was like, and I think I just went like this. I think I just went, yeah, yeah. I think it was just like, yeah. And that point, I was like, I think he's trolling.
Yeah, they had to be trolling. It felt
or
like
you
he was
just
about
very
to do that.
unfamiliar. Because that's the thing I didn't know, so I chose to be more direct.
Yeah, I like that.
You treated him like he was trolling.
Now I want to see this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Because if he says I'm familiar, you'd be softer. But if you think he's trolling, the only way to beat him is to.
And there's a certain level of like, you got to be at a level to troll. You know, like if Charlemagne is trolling me like that, and I'm on the Breakfast Club, it's just a hilarious thing.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think anybody has gone further in entertainment with less talent than this kid. So it's like, I'm like, where does he get off trolling? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where does he get off trolling?
Okay.
So that's why I was like, this needs a reaction.
You're gonna mess up your Happy Dad sponsorship, dude.
Word.
You're really gonna mess that up. All that Happy Dad money is going out the drain right now.
Damn. Come
There's a flavor for you, too. Coming
Damn.
up.
What flavor? What would
You're
be
the
the best
comedian,
flavor?
not me.
I
I
do.
heard you really lost it when they were like, yo, how's your time on Guy Code?
They just read you with Peter. So you went to UCSB. What was that like?
Literally, it felt like that.
Were you the class clown?
Yeah. Honestly, it might have been one of the questions. It was like, hey, ChatGPT, can you give a list of questions for a comedian that you've never seen before?
Yeah.
That was the question. And it's like, let's just not do it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I'd just rather just not do it.
I want to see it now. Put it out, guys. Put it out.
It's also hilarious because
Yeah.
I think Steiny was trying to keep it afloat. And
He
the
might have
fact
been
that,
genuine.
The fact that he was the one trying and then you just clobbered him.
Yeah,
is so
no,
funny.
he wasn't. I think
That's the funniest
did.
part.
Well, if that's
He's
the
a
case,
fan.
I apologize. If that's the case, I apologize. But he has like an air of inauthenticity to him. So and like it's always hard for me to be around people that are like pretending.
Yeah.
So it's like you know what I mean? Like my knee-jerk reaction to people who are being fake with me is to be like incredibly direct with them so that they have to be real in that moment. You know what I mean? And you know,
he went knee jerk.
if he was doing his best and he was like feeling insecure that the interview wasn't doing that well and like he was
No one's
trying to
talking.
do something,
And I'm the only one
Yeah.
that'll ask questions.
yeah, then I feel bad and I would apologize for it. That being said, it might be consistent to like how he is.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the overwhelming hate for this poor kid. It's just unbelievable. It's like he's like catch me outside or something. Like it's like I'm
baby.
bro. Like maybe it's like it's just great. The video went up and like every comment was like, "Fuck that kid." And maybe he was genuinely trying to keep the interview afloat.
Well, I'm sure you're going to help his PR with your I don't know who's gone further on less talent campaign.
I just believe it. But that's not.
That doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
But it doesn't mean no.
Yeah.
He's socially savvy. I mean, he's gotten to this position, right? Like I think he started out as Steve's assistant, and then now he's on the show, and Steve isn't. Like so, the kid is socially savvy. There's no question to get there. I think I even said that on the pod, but I don't know. Like I don't know.
Would you want it to come out in its entirety, or the way Kyle was saying it was reacting to moments and then discussing them further?
Put it out. Put the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dead air is what you really want. It's the sweet sauce of it.
Yeah.
And it's also fun to watch it from this perspective.
Yeah.
Because if you went into it with the excitement of like, say you're a fan of the Nelk Boys, you're a fan of us, and you're like, oh shit, I want to see Shultz on the show. This is going to be this awesome collaboration of these two people that I'm really into. You're going to be like, this was the worst thing that's ever happened on the internet. But if you go into it going, this is the worst podcast ever, and then it satisfies that, you're like, hell yeah.
Nailed it.
Yes.